Thank you so much. So it's kind of unique in that I knew I was getting the award before I got the award. That's not usually how it happens, I think, but it provided me an opportunity to, one, tell them I did in fact want to say something afterwards, and two, my children made me an award. See here, this is my little trophy that I got made. It has to be yellow because it has to be close to gold. They wanted to spray paint it. I said no. So thank you so much for this award here. It's beautiful. I wanted to talk for just a minute about ways that I have engaged my community in an effort to hopefully inspire you to do the same. All of this would not be possible without, of course, the inspiration of my kids. I'm a foster parent. I've parented many kids on the spectrum. The support of my husband, who lets me stay up really late hours and work all the time. And then I have a great team of FASD caregivers that I work with on social media, which you'll hear why that's important in a minute. So the first thing that you can do as a person that wants to advocate for FASD is you can engage your audience. So when we're talking about ODH sharing FASD information, you can share that on your social media. When you are talking to somebody who's planning on becoming pregnant, you can talk to them about FASD, and you can bring it up like, oh my gosh, I just learned this at a conference the other day. It was so interesting, so that it doesn't sound like too heavy of a topic. But us engaging our own community and our own audience is huge and a first step. The next thing that you can do is go outside of your circle and engage a little bit more publicly on social media, which is what I've chosen to do. So I have a public social media account. I don't share my family with everybody, but and I post about FASD. That has given me the opportunity to put out some really cool videos and information for people. And of course you can share that content, but you could also generate your own. So one thing that we did as a group of moms on Instagram as my primary platform is we made a video that's going to be shown at some point during this. And we tried to make it fun and engaging and share information at the same time. And a lot of times you guys know your audience better, right? So you would be the ones that would be able to say, oh, I know that they would think this is so hilarious, or oh, this thing that's really viral right now, we could do it and it would just be like that. So you can do that also. Our video, just shared amongst the FASD community and people outside of it who found it interesting, generated about 50,000 impressions, which is not nearly as impressive as the millions. But it's still something that we could do to impact our own area, right? And then we also have engaged with some influencers. So we recently just had an influencer in Columbus who does Mocktail Mondays every Monday. And I contacted her and I said, hey, would you be willing to talk about FASD during one of your Mocktail Mondays? She has 80,000 followers. And so far it has about 7,000 to 8,000 views on that video. So it was 7,000 or 8,000 more people who learned about FASD that weren't necessarily knowing about it before. So reaching outside of FASD caregivers, which is primarily it's an easy audience, right? We want to talk to ourselves because we already know. So reaching outside of that and being a little bit more creative can be an awesome way to do that as well. And then the last thing that my tip is to reach out to your legislators. The state legislators feel like, oh my gosh, would they ever give me the time of day? But yeah, they would, because they work for you. And so I reached out to my state legislator, and we're working on legislation to present to the House to match Senate Bill 340. And that I'm doing that with Prevention Action Alliance, which is a great organization. If that's something that you're interested in participating in, you can contact them or me. We'll get you hooked up. But that kind of stuff feels like I could never do that, right? But like then it was so easy, right? He lives down the road from me. So I just called him up and we had a chat and explained how it matters so much to me. And that's important that we as voters, as constituents can say that. So I wanted to just mention all of that, empower you to do things as well. In the last year, I've trained over 1,000 people on FASDs, which took it's a job, right? Like I've taken quite a bit of my time, but you don't have to train that many people. You could literally train just your own agency and still make a huge impact, especially for you professionals who work with a lot of kids. So I'm very honored to receive this award. I'm hoping that more of us can partner together and come up with creative and new ways to reach out to people outside of FASD caregivers and professionals and spread the word.